They probably told you bad credit is a dead end, a financial life sentence, right? That it locks you out of real estate, out of building wealth, completely out of the game. They probably said you need a perfect 780 score just to get a seat at the table.
Well, guess what? They lied, and today I'm going to prove it. Bad credit isn't a wall, it's just a detour, and I'm about to hand you the map to all the back roads. We are pulling back the curtain on the real-world strategies for investing in real estate, even if your credit is less than perfect. This is the playbook the banks hope you never find. It's how you bypass the gatekeepers and get in the game no matter what some number on a report says. Let's get into it.
So, if the banks keep saying no, how do you get in the game today, right now? Well, it all starts with plays that make your credit score completely, and I mean completely, irrelevant. We're talking about generating real estate income without ever even looking at a loan application.
The first and honestly the fastest path is something called wholesaling. The idea here is actually really simple but so powerful. You are not buying a house. You are controlling a piece of paper, the purchase contract. You find a fantastic deal, you lock it up, and then you sell the rights to that deal to another investor who has the cash. No banks, no credit checks, no fuss.
And don't mistake this for small change, okay? A single wholesale deal can net you $5, $10, sometimes even $25,000 or more. That's your assignment fee. This is your seed money. It's how you generate real capital using your hustle instead of your credit history. So many full-time investors got their start right here. So you've got two paths, both with zero credit needed. You can wholesale that contract for a quick cash injection, or you can use your incredible deal finding skill to partner up. You bring the most valuable thing in this whole business, the deal. A partner brings the credit and the cash. You both bring serious value to the table, and you split the profits. You have to remember this, a great deal is its own form of currency.
Okay, but what if you want to actually own the property? You know, build that long-term wealth, the equity, the cash flow? Well, then you need to learn how to cut the banks out of the equation completely. And that brings us to a whole other level of creative financing.
This right here is called seller financing, or sometimes you'll hear it called owner financing, and it is an absolute game changer. Instead of trying to convince some stiff loan officer in a cubicle, you're convincing a person, the actual property owner. You negotiate everything, the interest rate, the down payment, the loan term, directly with them. Your ability to build rapport and solve their problem is infinitely more important than your FICO score.
So, where do you find these golden opportunities? You have to start thinking like the seller. Look for owners who own their property free and clear, with no mortgage. They have the most flexibility. Search for keywords in listings like owner will carry or flexible terms. Target landlords who've owned a place for decades and maybe they'd rather get a steady check from you than a massive tax bill from a cash sale. These are the people who are open to creative solutions.
Now, let's get even more creative with a strategy called Subject To. With this, you actually take title to the property. The deed is in your name, and you simply take over the seller's existing mortgage payments. The loan stays in their name, but you own the house. And because no new loan is being created, your credit is never even pulled. It is an incredibly powerful way to get property when a seller is just motivated to walk away. And this is the fundamental shift in thinking you have to make. When you're dealing directly with a seller, you're not just a number on a credit report. You're a problem solver. Can they trust you? Do you have a credible plan for the property? See, your character and your proposal, that becomes your credentials.
Okay, so you can negotiate with sellers. That's huge. But what about that professional, fast money you need for things like flips and big renovations? Well, for those lenders, it's not about you. It's all about the deal.
This is the world of hard money. These are asset-based lenders. They aren't lending to you. They are lending against the property. Their main question is really simple. Is this a profitable deal? If you can buy a house for 100 grand, put 50 grand of work into it, and it's then worth 250,000, that huge profit margin is their security. Your credit score is way down the list of their concerns.
Now, this kind of speed and access, it definitely comes at a price. We're talking interest rates in the 10 to 15% range, plus you've got these upfront fees called points. The big takeaway here is that your deal's numbers have to be absolutely rock solid to absorb these higher costs and still leave you with a healthy profit. This is high-octane fuel for serious investors. So while a hard money lender might not care if you have a 640 versus a 740 credit score, they are absolutely looking for major financial red flags. They need to know you don't have catastrophic issues, like a recent bankruptcy or some big judgment that could threaten their investment in the property. They underwrite the deal first, but they're still vetting you for any of those show-stopping problems.
And let's talk about one more incredible tool, especially for you buy and hold investors, the DSCR loan. This is just pure business logic. If the property's monthly rent can cover the monthly mortgage payment, plus taxes and insurance, then the deal just makes sense. The property itself qualifies for the loan. Your personal income isn't the main thing. If you can find a cash-flowing property, you can find a DSCR loan.
All right, we've covered the strategies, we've shown you the back doors. Now it's time to turn all this knowledge into real action. This is where you go from just learning to actually doing.
So, what is your first step? Look, it is so easy to get overwhelmed with all these options. The key is to focus and then execute. Let's break it down into a simple, powerful checklist.
Okay, here we go. Step 1. Pick one strategy and go all in. Become an absolute expert at either wholesaling or finding seller finance deals. Don't chase 5 different things at once. Step 2. Build your deal finding machine. That means learning your local market inside and out and actively looking for properties. Step 3. Make offers. Analysis paralysis is a real dream killer. The only way to learn is to get in the game and start talking to sellers. Volume is key. And step 4. Build your team now. Don't wait until you have a deal. Connect with a real estate attorney and other investors today. They are your lifeline.
I want you to let this sink in for a second. Your credit score is just a snapshot in time. It is a circumstance. It is not a final verdict on what you can achieve. The real barrier was never your score. It's always been about not knowing the right strategies. And now you have the playbook.
This is the Brick by Brick channel, where we help beginners build wealth through real estate, one brick at a time. If you got value from this, hit the like and subscribe for weekly investor breakdowns. Now go take action.